Hello everyone, this is MIDI. I'm Julie and I'm excited to share this series called From Idea to Release. This is a practice-based tutorial. I highly recommend to download this free Ableton project from MIDI.me to follow along. Many producers love watching tutorials and that's great, but it's practice that really helps you grow. Make mistakes, experiment, break things, and rebuild. This is how you grow. Don't be afraid to getting it wrong. Focus on your journey. They believe this practical approach helps build confident producers who finish tracks and enjoy the process. So, let's start. Start with a simple but powerful habit, color coding your tracks. It improves your workflow and lets you visually group similar elements like drums, synth, or effects. Choose a color and quickly assign it to clips. We have unquantized notes in MIDI clips. These add human feel and groove. But then combining your ideas, it can feel a bit messy. Because we are working with MIDI, it's easy to fix it and adjust the rhythm. Let's start. Use the grid 160 to see some unquantized parts in our session. Let's fix it in a few clicks. Use the same strategy and apply quantized settings to the second part of MIDI clips. Everything is aligned and ready to go. Set the BPM. So first select all MIDI clips except the drums. Then activate scale mode inside the MIDI editor. First, we choose our original tonality and activate highlight scale. Next, use those shortcuts to transpose MIDI one step. Let's start with the kick. We have 8-bar idea, but we want more control. Let's start from a 1-bar loop and grow from there. Why is this useful? You can build variations as you go, evolving ideas bar by bar while keeping everything tight. We have a classic 4 on the floor kick. Keep it. Now let's move on to the drums. We've got a 909 style drum rack with snare, open hats and clap. So a solid bass for house. Let's build a groove. Open hats on the offbeat. Clap is your backbeat. This snare adds groove. It breaks the straight beat and makes the rhythm more bouncy and alive. So now we have 2-bar loop. Add some variation in the end. So next, let's shape the groove with velocity. We tweak the velocity of open hats to add into phrase more movement and human feel. Now we have 4-bar loop. At the end, add a snare and clap, like punctuation in a sentence. Think of drums like a dialogue. One sound speaks, another replies, and that conversation creates the groove. So listen our percussion set. We have 2 rim shots, percussion clap, vibra slap, and tambourine. So keep turn on our drums and kick because we need to hear our percussion in context. We'll start with a simple rhythm. Add 2 rim shots on the offbeat and duplicate a few times, so we have a 4-bar loop. Then delete bars 2 and 4, leave space and dynamic. Switch the grid to 1/16 to add more details. Rimshot to add tension just before the loop reset. Rimshot 3 and accent. Percussion gives groove in the gaps. Clap some syncopated feel. Let's bring in some conga, all 1/16 notes. Switch the grid to 1/4. Now we add tambourine on every 1/4 note. This gives us a clear groove pulse. Use velocity changes, lower volume on every second note to create realism inside the groove. Now duplicate groove, and in the end we have a 8-bar loop. Great. So add a final touch with a vibra slap. You can add something expressive and unique from your library as well. Experiment with that. We have a 1/16 pulse bass line, so I changed the grid to 1/16 to see it clearly. The root note of this track is G, and here's an important rule: your bass should match the key of the track and usually sit as the lowest note. It gives stability to your low end and supports the whole mix. So I want to make new variation, tweak the note length a little bit because this is house music and I want to add more melodic vibe in the bass line. Duplicate the phrase and I make some variation in the end. Not something complicated, switch note a little bit. Duplicate the full phrase, we get 4 bars. Let's clean it up. So now we have first 3 bars are the same and bar 4 is a variation. Add extra groove here. And listen together with the whole mix. Let's look at the chord section. Now I want to push you to experiment with this part. The main idea here is delete chord to leave space, change length to shift energy, replace chords to build your own groove and vibe. You can follow my action or better to try your own version through this practice. Listen in context with other instruments and ask yourself, how does your variation feel? So let's try. Now let's layer in some pads to give the track weight and atmosphere. They are starting with a 4-bar loop. Keep listening to the context, how the pads is behind the chords. Also, here's a helpful trick: use multi-clip view in Ableton. This lets you see multiple MIDI clips at the same time, like your pads and chords together. It helps you to understand how instruments talk to each other. You don't just hear the interaction, you see it. This makes it easier to create a dialogue between the parts and shape your groove more intentionally. Now let's transpose. Take a pad note and move it up. We are starting with original MIDI idea, but don't be afraid to change them. This is your track and practice make it perfect. Notice how we chose short notes on this offbeat instead of holding one long note through the whole bar. Why? This way, the instrument is clear and present, but still leaves space for other elements, especially the kick. Now we bring in the arpeggio. This is one uses a 160 pattern, gives you track motion and sparkle. The main idea here is to work with transposing notes and to keep the variation only at the end of the 8-bar phrase. Duplicate again. Now create contrast in the final section. Let's tweak the vocal elements. It doesn't need to be complex, just work with the note length and timing, that's it. So let's finish by adding some FX synth flair. These were selected to work together with a synth pad to support the atmosphere and create space in the mix. Let's fix that. Delete some notes under the chords, especially if they share the same frequency space. This is the end of our third practice session. In the next episode, we'll talk about arrangement technique, how to turn these loops into a full track. Ask your questions, share your ideas, and keep growing through practice. Let's build producer habits together. See you in the next sessions.